Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic.
Hello and welcome to your Aquarius full moon Great Mother Speaks reading. This full moon is in the nakshatra of Dhanista. It is a very happy-go-lucky energy, people that are born in it, and actually it's the fewest people of record who are born in this nakshatra than of any other. It is equidistance between Capricorn and Aquarius in the Jyotish astrology, which is what we use here on Great Mother Speaks. She calls it the soul astrology. This is the astrology that really does pace this life with the soul most accurately because it is cosmological. We do use Western astrology in terms of understanding our egoic relationship to the soul. So our emotional state is really important in terms of looking at our Western astrology. Here we deal with mama drama trauma, which is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed issues of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. And so in order to heal mama drama trauma, we have to tap into our intuitive wisdom, which is the fundamental basis of lunar astrology when it is activated as a tool to be used for healing, which is why we use the Jyotish astrology and your Jyotish moon sign, which you can find in the calculator below. Of course, use whichever moon sign most resonates with you at this time. Detachment is all about an energy of sociability, and following up the new moon reading in Cancer, you may want to check on what your new moon wishes were. I have found with individuals who come for readings how incredible using the follow-up full moon reading within the context of what Great Mother was saying during the new moon gives a very enlightened perspective on how to work with the lunar energies, because with the personal readings, we actually look at your unique cosmic calculus, your moon sign. So even if your moon sign is Aquarius, not all of you have this full moon as your full moon at this particular time. Some of you will have it at other times during the year based on the degree of the moon in which you were born. For example, you may be born at 5 degrees Aquarius, and that's more new moon energy. Full moon energy is 15, 16 degrees, etc., etc. So I want to encourage you to be more familiar with your degrees of your moon sign, because the Lunar New Year for you and the midpoint of your year is going to vary quite a bit with these general readings, as well as configurations, aspects, and planetary placements in your birth chart. So for that, go to greatmotherspeaks.info for a personal reading. I want to let you know that because it is going to also change the nakshatra of your moon sign. And so this, generally speaking, at this time, the moon is in the nakshatra of Dhanista, but you may be in another nakshatra in which you were born. There are an average of 2.5 nakshatras per sign. So there's a toss-up there energetically, but we'll do our best here. This energy overall, generally for all of us speaking here, is a full moon energy of lightheartedness. It's a lightheartedness that is very communicative. It's very socially oriented, highly creative. It's honest. Aquarian energy is very honest, very direct, can be emotionally detached, which in many cases for mama drama trauma is a good thing, because our yellow brick road is a healing road of loving detachment from the drama, the trauma, and in some cases, the mama, if that is necessary. And so this kind of mental acuity comes from a sense of a capability to maneuver one's mental space that's made available through the alchemy of Aquarian energy. in this constellation. It is very learned, particularly through its social proclivities, through friends. It really loves to interact with people and create associations with individuals in order to gain its knowledge, in order to really enjoy life. That's an important part of gaining wisdom. And the knowledge is so important in order to be able to decode macro patterns, the macro patterns of life. They're very good architects. They're very good engineers, and they can look at the whole and break it down into detail. And this all seems to come about over a drink after work. They tend to learn quite well in study groups in school. Even their romantic life is centered around social engagement. And so if you're dating someone like this, or you are like this yourself, it may be difficult for you to understand the attachment that people have romantically in relationships that dictates a very singular one-on-one relationship, when in fact love for you is an augmented experience with others. So it's very intuitive at the same time with regard to the unique genius of others, and it likes to tap into that as well as the genius within oneself. So we're talking about the transition from Capricorn energy, which is all about that inner silence and diligent focus and manifesting, to this equidistance to Aquarian energy that's about outer service. And so bringing that inner wisdom, that inner genius, that macro vision into the world through the detailed analysis and connecting with others to manifest that outer service. And so coming through the eclipses and coming through all that we have been experiencing this year with the retrogrades, we now have Jupiter direct as of the 11th of this month. Yes! And so that is a very central theme of this full moon reading. Jupiter is direct again in the sign of Scorpio in the Vedic. So we're going to look at that in each sign as we look at the illumination that this Aquarius full moon in Detachment has for you. Gemini moon sign people, hello. This full moon is 9th house energy for you. This is about deep astral travel, inner work done in the sleeping state. Some of you may also be experiencing a great deal of this in your waking state. Your center card, which is the work your soul wants to do this full moon, or wants to bring to illumination for you, is integrity. The truth that you tell yourself about yourself. It wants it to completely come out, your heart truth. We see Dorothy here pointing to Professor Marvel, saying, you were there too. You were in Emerald City too. To which she receives a laughable response. But it's true, isn't it? He was there. He was Oz. And this is indicating, Gemini, that for you, this deep internal work that's going on this Aquarius full moon has to do with how you are serving others, how you are sharing the wealth, so to speak, of your intuitive downloads, of your astral travel with others. That's always a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Bringing the worlds together and sharing what we've learned with people. And somehow we know they should know, right? We somehow know these people in our soul group. They should know what's going on, right? And what's bringing this up, the need for this soul work, is Nefertiti. Your soul wants you to own the beauty of your expression. We see this is a throat chakra waning gibbous moon card. And so throat chakra is ruled by Mercury, which rules your moon sign. So your soul is bringing this up for you in your soul sign of Gemini to really be in a place of gratitude for your power, for your truth, for what your reality is, which right now is all about this full moon energy that's lighthearted like you, that is very intellectual like you, that has this alchemical and gregarious energy like you, that can deal with challenges through communication and non-attachment like you. It's really illuminating these abilities to harmonize your challenges with this Jupiter in your 6th house of hidden enemies, but also the daily night phase of your life in which your soul comes alive, bringing that to the forefront in a way that enables this great courage that you have to come through in ways that do serve others. Because in your shadow position is Sheila Nagig, the open card. This waning gibbous energy again here with this card is heart chakra energy. Waning gibbous is sharing, is thanksgiving, is being thankful for the now. Heart chakra is the crossroads between the ego and the soul. Your soul's wanting to open up this ownership, this taking responsibility for your beauty, for your truth, with a open heart. And you may not realize it because this is in your shadow position, that this is really what you're being called to do at this time. And with Mercury and Venus in Cancer, your 2nd house, you may feel a need to be a little careful about your health, maybe, or health concerns. And some of you may be very confident, even to the point of being egotistical. And so you're ready to open your heart. But some of you who may not be, there is an indication that you may have a little trepidation because you may be experiencing some perhaps throat issues or issues related to your pituitary or something, in terms of you really being able to bring, again, these worlds together from this deep intuitive and astral travel. You're wanting to really enjoy life. And so when you're sleeping, it's really important that you are comfortable. And so maybe some, again, health issues associated with that comfort, with that ease of body, mind, in order to fully rest. This could also be an indication that some of the work that you've been doing to join the two worlds, the deep download world with your practical daily life, has rendered you some material results, some blessings. And so there's gratitude for that and an openness to that maybe previously you were not so open to, and that you are open to now with Jupiter going direct. So the desire that's coming up is Durga, the boundaries new moon gut chakra card. The gut chakra is ruled by Mars, which rules Dasnita. And so this energy that is very much like your energy has an emissarial Martian energy that's giving you the power to kind of deal with whatever challenges may be coming up with family burdens or marital issues that are related to mama drama trauma in some way, because you want to have these healthy boundaries. You're seeing the benefit of it. You're seeing that this is paying off in order for me to be able to have a more harmonious life experience, in order to share my truth with others in ways that's meaningful to me and that I can enjoy my life. And what's supporting you to define, establish, and maintain these healthy boundaries around your integrity is recognition of what your fears are. You don't need to hide from your fears if you are. And those of you who are no longer doing that, this card is indicating that you aren't, because you're being supported by Kali to transmute those fears. The Hindu goddess of Kali is all about transmuting the illusion of fear back into the darkness from which it came. Bring it on. Bring another illusion of fear. Let me smite it down. Bring it on, because I'm no longer distracted and deluded from my divinity. I know that I'm divine. And so dealing with the illusion of shame, blame, and guilt of mama drama trauma is something that you, at this particular time, have really been able to deal with in ways that are meaningful to you Again, some of you, this may be triggering a lot of fears because you realize that this is what you're needing to do if you haven't. And again, those of you who are, the reason that you are able to do it is because you're being supported by Kali. This is first quarter moon root chakra energy. That's facing the challenge to reground yourself. You're being supported in doing that. Your present state of ego soul alignment is the Kuan Yin card. You are presently aligned with the self-compassion that you need to do this. Again, not avoid what your fears are, but actually facing them with the courage of Kali. Actually facing them with the state of your ego soul alignment with self-compassion. That heart crescent moon energy that is just beginning to open your heart to what other avenues of maternal love there are for you. They're infinite, just as the goddesses in this deck are. There are so many expressions of Great Mother's energy that are available to us whenever we need it. We simply need to be in the present and in that state of gratitude and openness, which you are at this particular time and may not realize it because the open Sheila Nagid card is in your shadow position. The present state of ego soul alignment is self-compassion as you work through into this point of openness. Now, why your soul wants to do this work is because there is an inner wisdom. There is a sense of knowing with this new moon heart chakra card that you are in this space of wisdom that you've garnered from the retrograde and the eclipse season. And so how your soul wants to do the work of standing by what you know, the truth from your journey, your deep astral visions and experiences that you're bringing back into the world to serve practical purposes, to enjoy your life, to have material results, is through the energy of Adi Shakti, the primordial mother. And the primordial mother is this waning gibbous second chakra energy. So the second chakra is ruled by Jupiter, which is in your sixth house. And so the sixth house is daily life, but it's also hidden enemies. And so the hidden enemies are those parts of ourselves that we don't necessarily want to recognize. And in your shadow position is Sheila Nagid, the openness. And so recognize that you are open to recognizing whatever fears you may have so that you can be compassionate to yourself. Because it's only through that self-compassion that Dorothy was able to respond to the laughter that they gave her with love. Because it starts with loving ourselves. And so Adi Shakti, the Twister Dream card, second chakra card, is all about getting to a point where we've done all that we can do. She's done all that she can do to share her truth. When you come back from your astral travels and you share your experiences, if you feel inclined to do so, and you don't receive the response you need, and you really do feel that you have something to share, you have done it. And that's all that you've been called to do. That's all that's needed. Have self-compassion. Trust your inner wisdom. Allow the Twister Dream to bring the clarity to you that you need. And of course, the Twister Dream is in fact the journey through Munchkin Land, the Yellow Brick Road, and back home. Allow this process of how your soul wants to do the work this full moon and to the next to give you a sense of what is in this journey for you. That's also what the Adi Shakti card represents. We always hear that the question of life is, why are we here? Well, an even more important question Great Mother encourages us to ask is, what's in it for us? What is in this life for us? And as you discover what it is for you, as Dorothy discovered what it was for her, you will find that it's always about being in that present moment of peace. And with the North Node, or what we call in Jyotish Rahu, being in your first lunar house, you are, during this nodal season and the eclipse seasons that we just came through, being coerced into an intuitive space of recognizing your powers of communication, recognizing your powers of intellect, and being able to alchemize harmony in your environment. and releasing old ways that you did it through default. That's what the Twister dream was all about for Dorothy. She had found a place of peace at home before the threat of the drama mama, symbolized by Miss Gulch. And when she returned, she had to redefine those terms, realizing that home was in her heart. So you have a lot of heart chakra cards here. And by working through the openness, the inner wisdom, and the self-compassion of your heart, the integrity, which is the I in Aspire, to living in loving detachment. There's 6 suits by the letters of Aspire in the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. And the center of your reading is integrity, the I card, telling yourself the truth about where you are in this healing process. This full moon to full moon season, Gemini moon sign people, your likely outcome is Pele. There will be an awakening to your energy, your Martian energy that says, I am a good witch. I am a divine child of the great Mother, Father, God, who is never judged, condemned, or left alone. I use my powers of divinity to heal myself, to live in health, happiness, and wholeness, and others. That is what, in this scene, Glinda, who symbolizes Great Mother, asked Dorothy. The Munchkins want to know, are you a good witch or a bad witch? And that outcome is for you to determine through your practice of integrity, through owning your beauty, being open to the self-compassion you need to face your fears, and establishing the boundaries you need to live this inner wisdom of your divinity. That's what Great Mother has for you this Aquarius full moon, Gemini moon sign people. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all, and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Moon, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.
Great Mother speaks to us in raw, realistic, and righteousness. Great Mother speaks to those of us who are most alienated from her unconditional love due to our birth mother experience. Here, welcome.